Hello and welcome back to my blog. Here we are, part 14, Practice of Autosuggestion by the Method of Emile, Coue, revised edition by C. Harry Brooks, section 3, the Practice of Autosuggestion, chapter 10, Autosuggestion and the Child, part 1. I thought about not doing this, but if you're at all interested in what I'm reading, which I don't know who is, and if you have children, maybe this would make a difference. Who knows? It's old stuff, but it's still functional. In treating children, it should be remembered that autosuggestion is primarily not a remedy, but a means of ensuring healthy growth. It should not be reserved for times when the child is sick, but provided daily with the same regularity as meals. Children grow up weakly not from lack of energy, but because of a waste and misapplication of it. The inner conflict necessitated by the continual process of adaptation which we call growth is often of quite unnecessary violence, not only making a great temporary demand on the child's vital energy, but even locking it up in the unconscious in the form of complexes, so that its future life is deprived of a portion of its due vitality. A wise use of autosuggestion will preclude these disasters. Growth will be ordered and controlled. The necessary conflicts will be brought to a successful issue, the unnecessary ones avoided. Autosuggestion may very well begin before the child is born. It is a matter of common knowledge that a mother must be shielded during pregnancy from any experience involving shock or fright, since these exert a harmful effect on the developing embryo, and may in extreme cases result in abortion or in physical deformity or mental weakness in the child. Instances of this ill effect are comparatively common, and the link between cause and effect is often unmistakable. There is no need to point out that these cases are nothing more than spontaneous autosuggestions operating in the maternal unconscious, since during pregnancy, the mother molds her little one not only by the food she eats, but also by the thoughts she thinks. The heightened emotionality characteristic of this state bespeaks an increased tendency to outcropping and so an increased suggestibility. Thus, spontaneous autosuggestions are far more potent than in the normal course of life. But happily, induced autosuggestions are aided by the same conditions, so that the mother, awake to her powers and duties, can do as much good as the ignorant may do harm. Without going into debatable questions, such as the possibility of predetermining the sex of the child to be born, one can find many helpful ways of aiding and benefiting the growing life by autosuggestive means. The mother should avoid with more than ordinary care all subjects, whether in reading or conversation, which bear on evil in any form, and she should seek whatever uplifts the mind and furnishes it with beautiful and joyous thoughts. But the technical methods of autosuggestion can also be brought into action. The mother should suggest to herself that her organism is furnishing the growing life with all it needs, and that the child will be strong and healthy in mind, in body, and in character. These suggestions should be in general terms, bearing on qualities of undoubted good, for obviously it is not desirable to define an independent life too narrowly. They need consist only of a few sentences and should be formulated night and morning immediately before or after the general formula. Furthermore, when the mother's thoughts during the day stray to the subject of her child, she can take this opportunity to repeat the whole or some part of the particular suggestion she has chosen. These few simple measures will amply suffice. Any undue tendency of the mind to dwell on the thought of the child, even in the form of good suggestions, should not be encouraged. A normal mental life is in itself the best of conditions for the welfare of both mother and child. For her own sake, however, the mother might well suggest that the delivery will be painless and easy. The only direct means of autosuggestion applicable to the child for some months after birth is that of the caress, though it must be remembered that the mental states of mother and nurse are already stamping themselves on the little mind, forming it inevitably for better or worse. Should any specific trouble arise, the method of Milkaufmann, Mademoiselle, maybe that means, it's M-L-L-E, period, Kaufmann, should be applied by the mother. Taking the child on her knee, she should gently caress the affected part, thinking the while of its reinstatement in perfect health. It seems generally advisable to express these thoughts in words. Obviously, the words themselves will mean nothing to an infant of 2 or 3 months, but they will hold the mother's thought in the right channel, and this thought, by the tone of her voice, the touch of her hand, will be communicated to the child. Whether telepathy plays any part in this process, we need not inquire, but the baby is psychically as well as physically so dependent on the mother that her mental states are communicated by means quite ineffective with adults. Love in itself exerts a suggestive power of the highest order. End of part 1 of Autosuggestion and the Child. More tomorrow, which I believe will be the bicentennial episode, edition, version, part, whatever, of this blog. Number 200 is tomorrow, Thursday. Make it a great day, and bye for now.